and welcome to Around San Diego. Glad to have you with us. I'm Evan Noorani in for Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. To start, Poway's City Council took the final step to pass a homeless encampment ban similar to the city of San Diego's. Starting next month, people could be cited for sleeping on sidewalks, trails, parks, and other open spaces. That's only if they refuse an offer for an available shelter bed. CBS 8's Regina Urita was at the council meeting where housing advocates expressed their frustration over that new ban.
It was the first item on the agenda, and it took seconds for council to pass it. Now, homeless advocates actually stormed out of the building because they say that decision was a terrible mistake.
The city of Poway moved forward with regulating homeless encampments on public property.
Item 3, which is the second reading and adoption of Ordinance 860, an ordinance of the City Council.
Those sleeping on public property who refuse a shelter bed could soon face a removal process with law enforcement. Unlawful encampments have 48 hours or they risk getting their belongings confiscated. A policy that housing advocates in Poway are not taking lightly. Instead, they're pushing for more affordable housing.
I don't really see the homeless people as being a problem. I don't see them committing the crimes. I don't see, it's just they need somewhere to live.
The decision comes after families complained about people living in cars and RVs near Pomerado Elementary School. Sheriff's deputies quickly cleared them out, but families pushed for a stronger policy. The city says the decision will ensure safety and keep public spaces for its intended purposes. Housing advocates say the policy will only further complicate issues for homeless.
There's nowhere for these people to go. There's no resources in Poway, like I said. And if you criminalize them, it's going to be harder for them to get housing.
Currently, Poway does not have a shelter. They have a contract with the North County Bridge to Housing Shelter Network.
And the ban will take effect 30 days after today's meeting. Reporting in Poway, I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thank you. A year-round 50-bed homeless shelter is opening soon in Oceanside. The Oceanside Navigation Center will help people transition into more stable, permanent housing. It's located on Oceanside Boulevard near El Camino Real, right behind Fire Station 3. The property used to be a school. The city purchased it and made millions of dollars in improvements using grant money from the county and federal government. It will be managed by the San Diego Rescue Mission. And if you're noticing your energy bills are a lot higher this month, well, you're not alone. We've heard from several SDG&E customers who want to know why they're paying so much more. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you to get answers.
SDG&E tells me depending on the time of day you're using energy, it will cost you more during the summer months. But customers I spoke with are frustrated, saying it's becoming more and more difficult to keep up.
I'm feeling a rate hike every month.
Kimberly lives in a one-bedroom apartment in Carlsbad. Over the past few months, she's noticed her SDG&E bills have gone up and is concerned about how high they'll go.
May of 2023 is when I really started to get worried because of that 115, 127, 149, and now we're at 200.
Kimberly says she uses very little electricity and doesn't know what more she can do. It's caused her to panic, especially after it was announced student loan payments start back up in October.
I'm going to have to make a decision on who to pay.
I brought Kimberly's concerns to SDG&E. Spokesperson Anthony Wagner explained there is a different charge for electricity during the summer, especially between 4 and 9 p.m. when demand is at its highest.
4 to 9 o'clock is when it's most expensive to produce electricity across California and when it's most expensive to try to balance all of the electrical grid necessities.
Summer pricing started June 1st. It applies to those on time of use plans, which a majority of customers are. Keep in mind, 80% of San Diegans source their electricity from community choice aggregators, so prices do vary. Here's a breakdown of SDG&E pricing for people in Tier 1, the most common one. During off-peak hours, you'll pay 40.3 cents per kilowatt hour if you stay within 130% of your baseline. Between 4 and 9, that jumps to 71.6 cents. If you use more than 130% of your baseline, those prices go from 52 cents during off-peak hours to 83.3 cents during that peak time frame. Your baseline allowance, which is marked on your bill, is determined in part by the climate zone you live in, coastal, inland, mountain, or desert. Wagner suggests customers can lower their bills by doing some simple changes.
When it's most expensive, it's probably not a good idea to do your laundry or to do your dishes. Maybe you have the opportunity to lower your thermostat on your actual water heater.
Turning the temperature up on your air conditioner will also save you money. Back in Carlsbad, Kimberly is convinced her bills aren't the result of summer pricing, but rather inaccuracies, saying her kilowatt per hour usage has almost doubled and even spiked during times when she's sleeping. That's why she has a technician scheduled to check her meter next week in her quest to figure out why she's paying so much.
It just literally makes no sense.
Working for you, I'm Shanna Handy for CBS 8.
Keep in mind, SDG&E says that its bills, they're very accurate, but they will correct any mistakes if they arise. If there's a story that you'd like us to look into, you can email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Right now, a proposal to install hundreds of so-called smart streetlights is headed for a full city council vote in San Diego. San Diego police made the case for the installation of 500 streetlight cameras and automated license plate readers at a public safety committee Wednesday. People against smart streetlights call it an invasion of privacy, but supporters say it's a matter of safety.
I can tell you that they are an important tool for protecting the innocent, for solving murders, and bringing closure to victims of crime.
Opponents gathered outside of Wednesday's meeting to voice their concerns about the technology. If fully approved, the total cost of the streetlights would be $4 million. This week, gun control advocates rallied in front of the county administration building. The rally was part of a nationwide bus tour led by the parents of the Parkland school shooting victims. Advocates say that they want to try and prevent further mass shootings like the one in Parkland.
They don't have a voice, but we do. And there's a lot of us, you know. That's I think the most important thing. That the whole nation will see how there's a lot of us out there ready to start fighting and ready to get or honoring our loved ones so no one else has to go through this.
And that same bus has visited El Paso, Uvalde, Sandy Hook, other cities that have experienced devastating mass shootings as well. Right now, police are investigating after a man was attacked by a person with a hammer in City Heights. This happened just before midnight Monday night in the 4400 block of Whiteman Street. This is in the same area where a man slashed part of a woman's scalp with a sword last week. The man who was attacked last night with a hammer was taken to the hospital. Right now, police have said that they have made one arrest, but are still looking into another suspect. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the police. Right now, the DEA office is processing over $158 million worth of drug offloaded by the Coast Guard along San Diego Bay. The large haul is the result of just 2 months worth of work in the Eastern Pacific. 3 Coast Guard boats carried the load, but officials say that this was a team effort between multiple agencies, including the Mexican Navy.
Counter-narcotics is an incredibly challenging and complex mission set. Detecting and interdicting smuggling vessels on the high seas requires expert teamwork and precise coordination.
In total, the Coast Guard seized 11,600 pounds of cocaine and 5,500 pounds of marijuana. A mountain biker died over the weekend while riding in extreme heat in Jacumba Mountains after he and his friends stopped to help a group of hikers who were dehydrated and struggling in the heat. Officials say he was a 24-year-old from Otay. Temperatures reached 110 degrees that day, and investigators say that he collapsed from the severe heat.
He looked fit and able, like the rest of his mountain biking crew that was with him. The extreme temperature, it doesn't matter how fit you are, it's just a treacherous area.
Now, following this death, CAL FIRE officials are now urging people who want to hike or bike to either go very early in the day or very late. Even better, they say, is to just wait for things to cool down. Californians could soon vote on whether to decriminalize magic mushrooms. The Secretary of State just allowed the renewed campaign to start collecting new signatures. If ultimately approved, the ballot measure would allow the growing and distribution of the mushroom for medicinal and recreational use. It would also clear criminal records for anyone who was charged with mushroom-related crimes. Campaign organizers say that this is the third attempt to gather enough signatures.
The first 2 times we tried to do this, COVID didn't exactly help out. And in the middle of signature collection, everything in the state basically shut down. I don't think they're going to do that again.
The campaign needs to gather close to 547,000 signatures in order to get on the ballot. And a group of San Diegans who went to school for animation to create things like short films and video games are now using their skills to help sick children. The team at Rady Children's Hospital didn't head to college thinking that they'd ever work in the medical field, but now they do it with pride because the technology that they're creating is helping kids who need it most. Steve Price has that story.
3D printing a heart and a skull. These are from specific cases here at Rady Children's Hospital. They are using the latest technology to help save lives.
We've got splits in the skull, and these are called sutures. You're supposed to have another one right over here, but in this patient, it fused a bit too early.
Justin Ryan studied animation in college to make short films.
Move in and out, kind of roll it around.
Param Gulami was a video game developer, but today they are part of a growing high-tech team at Rady Children's Hospital, helping doctors become better prepared and more efficient.
So what's pretty cool about this is not only can it provide a physical roadmap, but our surgeons can actually do mock operations on it. So they can do the entire thing on the 3D print before actually doing it in the operating room.
They can also use the 3D prints to bend devices into place before surgery starts, saving an hour or more in the operating room. And when prints aren't needed,
you can see the overall curvature of the spine here.
Animated computer models are made from patient records, and they've made the technology simple for doctors to learn and share.
They also have the opportunity to show this to the patient as well as their family, so they also have a more complete picture too of kind of what the condition looks like and what the next steps might be.
What they're doing is so technologically cool, they're presenting at ComicCon this weekend.
We're holding a panel to showcase how we're utilizing entertainment technology, 3D printing, virtual reality, video game technology for medicine.
That's right, there's virtual reality here too.
You have the ability to walk around the space.
They're using VR technology to, among other things, remodel operating rooms, placing equipment in the best spots to make sure the room is efficient and functional.
We're able to utilize incredible technology and art-making skills to improve medicine.
The 3D prints take between several hours and several days to make, so they can't be used for trauma situations, but for scheduled surgeries, these gamers' creations make everyone a winner.
It's really cool to be able to create these kinds of tools and applications that are able to help make people's lives better.
In Serra Mesa, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Switching gears, this week, some fear that the screenwriters and actors strike will take away some of the glitz at this year's Comic-Con. But cosplayers and comic fans that we spoke with, they disagree. They say that it will actually be better and the local economy is seeing a boost. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen spent the day at the San Diego Convention Center.
Yes, attendees and exhibitors are already hustling and bustling around the convention center, and nearby businesses are ramping up staff. And even though the writers and actors strike will cause some changes this weekend, the people I spoke to say they're excited that it will be reminiscent of how Comic-Con started the first time around. The world's most popular comic book convention kicks off tomorrow. Despite actors, screenwriters, and several major studios skipping out, people here say they're excited about it.
We are super excited.
It's kind of nice that we're having the strike right at this time. I know that the strike's a big issue, but it's kind of nice to go back to more of a traditional Comic-Con where it's convention and comics and toys and video games. It's showtime!
This will be my 15th year coming out. Comic-Con, with it being huge, with it being small, I'm here every year. I enjoy every day of the weekend. Comic-Con has so much to offer than just the big panels, so it's exciting to see some of the smaller things, no matter how big or small.
Since there will be virtually no panelists at Hall H on Saturday due to the strikes, visitors say they will find other things to do.
Maybe we'll check out the USS Midway and also check out around the
museums around the city. Because we've always been to San Diego, but we never actually explored the city.
Nearby businesses are booming, even bringing on extra staff.
We see thousands of people a day, very fortunate. It's usually probably triples to quadruples our normal sales.
And remember, you cannot transfer or resell Comic-Con badges or tickets. If you bought your ticket through any other source than Comic-Con, you will not be allowed in.
Because people are just buying everything up and then reselling it for double to triple the value, and it hurts the true collectors out there. It hurts the true fans.
Yet the people here say they wouldn't trade their ticket for the world.
No, I don't ever want to sell this thing, ever. I'm here to enjoy the whole thing. I love this experience.
I got my backpack with all my swag. I'm geared up and ready for Comic-Con to start tomorrow. If you would like to know more about the rules on Comic-Con tickets, we posted a link at CBS8.com. Reporting from the San Diego Convention Center, I'm Ariana Cohen for CBS 8.
Thank you, Ariana. The strikes that have shut down Hollywood continue, and there is still no sign that the two sides are any closer to an agreement. Even through the blazing heat, actors are joining screenwriters on the Hollywood picket lines. The SAG-AFTRA union is striking for better pay and protections against artificial intelligence. Part of the dispute is over the way streaming services have upset the Hollywood business model. SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher says that the studios are resisting their invitations to negotiate.
I wish we would be talking to the other side. We said we would start talking to them immediately, but they're punishing us. They don't want to talk to us. So, oh, well, they complain that it's going to shut down the business, but they don't come to the table.
The Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers, which negotiates on behalf of the studios, says actors were offered more than $1 billion in higher pay and benefits, but Drescher says that if the deal was so great, they wouldn't have gone on strike in the first place. And when it comes to driving, the Golden State is apparently not the golden standard. A new study finds Californians are considered the second worst in the entire country. CBS 8's Richard Allen explains how we earned that title and how San Diego ranks in some types of dangerous driving.
Well, that's right. This study shows that San Diego specifically comes in number 2 when it comes to accident rates compared to other cities nationwide, and number 1 when it comes to DUIs.
And all this honking and flipping off and all this other stuff, it's not worth it.
San Diegan Joy Warrior is not surprised that Californians are among the worst drivers in the country.
I think they're very inconsiderate, and I think they need to be a little bit more compassionate toward other people trying to get over or do whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Like Warrior, Elliot Sutton Inocencio attributes San Diego's high accident rates to overly aggressive driving.
You would think not with, San Diegans being so mellow, but somehow that changes when we get behind the wheel,
This study, undertaken by the online insurance platform Quote Wizard, gathered data from more than 10 million insurance customers nationwide, looking at everything from the number of speeding tickets and traffic citations to accidents and DUIs. Not only did California rank number 1 for highest rates of driving under the influence, but San Diego also took the top spot for cities nationwide.
So that's a shocking one for me.
But not so shocking for other drivers.
DUIs, not so much when you consider PB as part of San Diego.
To me, it's kind of like a party city down here with the gas lamp and everything, and all the young people, everybody wants to come here and party and have a good time.
When it comes to bad driving overall, San Diego made the top 20, with Riverside at number 3, Los Angeles at 10, and San Francisco number 13. Ariel Kleinerman thinks that California should make it a little more difficult to get a driver's license in the first place, which could lead to better drivers down the road.
People are merging at 40 miles an hour into a 75-mile-an-hour freeway. It's just dangerous, and people not using signals, also just hogging the left lane, but call me old school.
So who has the best drivers? That distinction goes to the Motor City, Detroit, followed by Little Rock and Louisville. Now, if you'd like to take a closer look at this entire study, just go to CBS8.com, click on the online version of this story.
Glad they got it back together. Hope they stay open for as long as they can.
Well, after a 6-week suspension, daily Amtrak service between Oceanside and Irvine is back up again and running. The Pacific Surfliner and Metrolink trains shut down back on June 5th because of a landslide in San Clemente. Emergency crews just finished a temporary barrier wall to protect the track. The city of San Clemente is continuing to work to stabilize the hillside for the long term. Resumed Surfliner service comes just in time for Comic-Con. And San Diego's Snapdragon Stadium is getting ready to host one of the world's most popular soccer franchise. Manchester United will be here taking on Wrexham in an exhibition match that just sold out in 48 hours after it was announced. This is just the latest in a string of high-profile games for Snapdragon Stadium, which opened 11 months ago this week. As CBS 8's Richard Allen finds, even more exciting matchups are coming soon.
Well, that's right. Call it the British invasion. The Manchester Wrexham exhibition game coming to Snapdragon Stadium next week. And soccer fans here in San Diego are chuffed. That's UK slang for psyched.
It's huge. Die-hard soccer fan Matt Kinzer is beyond excited that the wildly popular soccer club Manchester United is coming to America's finest city next Tuesday to take on Wrexham, the oldest football club in Wales, now owned by Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
It's going to be a huge showcase of one huge Premier League in Manchester, and then a huge story in Wrexham.
It is going to be a huge crowd.
Mark Neville is CEO of Sports San Diego. He says the prospect of Snapdragon hosting the world's most popular sports franchise will be memorable.
I don't know that we could have had a better opponent for this. You know, I mean, Wrexham the brand is huge, and I will be the first to tell you, a year ago, I had never heard of them before. And now I'm all in.
And it was less than a year ago that Snapdragon Stadium opened. But in that time, it's proven to be a game changer when it comes to celebrating soccer in San Diego.
It's amazing when you build a tremendous building like we have here at Snapdragon Stadium. It creates all these wonderful opportunities.
Including the San Diego Wave, the CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinals, German giant Dortmund playing the San Diego Loyal next week, as well as the arrival of a Major League Soccer team.
Snapdragon Stadium has, I think, exceeded expectations so far in its young life.
And also coming this November, the National Women's Soccer League Championship, something that 7-year-old Victoria Cruz, who has dreams of being a pro soccer player herself one day, is ecstatic over.
Because I've never seen a woman play, but I actually want to see women play now.
And for more information on the National Women's Soccer League Championship coming to Snapdragon, just go to CBS8.com, click on the online version of this story.
Cool to see so much coming there to Snapdragon Stadium. Well, summer break is over for many students in the South Bay. Wednesday was the first day of school for students in the Sweetwater Union High School District and Chula Vista Elementary School District. This school year, the Sweetwater Union High School District says that it's committed to fostering a deeper learning experience for all of their students.
It's important to always greet our students and our families and show them how much we love them, show them how much we've missed them, and that we're ready for the start of a new school year.
The school district is working on a new approach called Embrace Deeper Learning. The goal is to help students focus on thinking critically, creatively, and analytically throughout the school year. And to cool down in this heat, you could go to the beach or the bay, or how about a pool in your own backyard, as you can see here. You might think that that's expensive, but have you considered an above-ground pool? It's an option. They're all the rage, and it's becoming a billion-dollar business. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen has more.
Above-ground pools are making a big splash. A recent report says it's a billion-dollar industry. Why is there a growing demand? Let's find out. The above-ground pools market is expected to reach more than $360 billion by 2030, according to Market Research Future, a global market research company. The study finds that one of the main reasons for this is the low cost.
We just were very hot. Kids needed somewhere to play, get wet. It's for me too. I do landscaping and get really hot, just dive in here real quick and keep going.
Damian Devine set up his inflatable pool outside his San Carlos home for just $200. He said installing an in-ground pool would have been at least $100,000.
It saves you a lot of money. You don't have to take care of it all year round.
He also says it's convenient. It can easily be moved to a variety of locations, and extra parts like a filter, chlorine, and pump are affordable. The demand for above-ground pools increased during the pandemic as more people turned to activities to their own backyards.
You know, you made your own backyard was your little oasis, so people wanted to create a place where they could do, you know, get through the hot summer, have a place to play, and they couldn't be in, you know, community pools.
This also led to an increased demand for pool supplies and services. I stopped by Leslie's Pro and checked Home Depot's website. These are the above-ground pools that are unavailable right now. The prices range from $30 to nearly $5,000, depending on the size and quality.
And I will say, it is refreshing. Reporting from an above-ground pool in La Mesa, I'm Ariana Cohen for CBS 8. We'll send things back to you.
Ariana, thank you. It's at least an option for you. Switching gears now to another sport that you might want to enjoy. If you've ever wanted to try pickleball, there's a paddle and people waiting for you at San Diego's largest pickleball club. It opened its doors earlier this year, and in this Zevely zone, Jeff finds pickleball heaven in Spring Valley.
I'm here at the Hub San Diego because honestly, in my personal life, I couldn't find anyone who wanted to play pickleball with me.
At the Hub San Diego, it's everything pickleball, all day, every day.
I just walked in and they said, we need a fourth.
Marita, Joe, and Steve.
Do I just serve it out of my hand?
Answered all of my questions. And suddenly, there I was, playing pickleball. Joe got hooked
Get down.
2 years ago.
Ah! People talk about pickleball like it's a drug. Like you just say,
yeah. Oh, it's addictive.
She got me into it. She got me hooked.
Yeah. There's cocaine and then there's pickleball.
I retired so I could play pickleball.
All the time?
All the time, so I could be out here 5 days a week.
0-1-2. Steve skipped work to be here.
Everyone's going to see what I was doing today.
Do you think you can edit his face out?
Pickleball remains the fastest growing sport in America.
How's your pickleball game?
I'm not very good. It's hilarious.
Teresa Howes helps run the Hub and says anyone can play.
When you saw me falling down, making mistakes, what went through your mind?
I thought, look how much fun he's having.
They've got 26 courts for professionals all the way down to the beginners.
These people play pickleball next to my house, and one day I said, can I play with you? And they said, sorry, you're not good enough.
Oh, really?
It hurt my feelings, but you know what? They were right.
But you're never gonna learn unless you play. And that's the thing about the great thing about this sport. It's for everybody, and everybody has to be included.
In case you're wondering why it's called pickleball.
The person had a dog named Pickles.
And the Pickles, the dog, always chased the ball down.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a real know-it-all.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Around here, you can swing for the fences.
Get there.
Or crash into them.
Good hustle, Joe.
That was like Manny Machado into the stands.
For $99 a month at the Hub, anyone
Nice hustle.
Did it go in?
No.
can pickleball their brains out.
Good game, buddy.
In the Zevely zone.
Good game. You did really well. You did
Jeff
really
Zevely.
Thanks for including me.
Yeah, absolutely.
CBS 8.
They're impressive. Jeff included there. All right, that'll do it for us here on Around San Diego. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Evan Noorani. Jenny Day will be back next week. Take care.